We have the absolute delight today to be interviewing my Gran, Maureen, at Hellow Media today. We'll be talking about her life, hairdressing, hobbies, and much more. Personally, I'm really excited to learn more about such an important person in my life and believe this will be a wonderful interview for all of us.
What was your generational perception of people with disabilities back when you were growing up?
Well, they certainly didn't have the facilities that you have now. You would have been home with your family, probably, until maybe they felt you got too old and they couldn't cope with you, so then you would have had to go into an institution, which isn't very nice.
What did you enjoy listening to or watching on the TV set and on the wireless back when you were growing up?
Right, well, when I was a child, I didn't have a TV, and I was probably a teenager then. But prior to that, we used to sit after tea at night. We didn't call it dinner, it was tea, and we would listen to Blue Hills, and we'd know it was coming on because of the music on the radio.
Was that on the ABC?
Probably. It was probably the only station, I mean.
I watch TV, but I listen to the radio and read books. You would have read books more than listened to the radio back when you were growing up. Were you a bookworm?
No, I wasn't a bookworm. I probably did listen to the radio more than read books.
What would you like to be best remembered for as a loving grandmother?
That's it. I would like to be remembered as a loving grandmother mother to my family.
What job did you do?
I was a hairdresser, a ladies' hairdresser. When I started, it was only ladies hairdressing, but once I finished, the course actually combined men and ladies, but I only did ladies hairdressing, and I loved doing it. But I nearly didn't get there because I was very quiet and shy and didn't talk to the clients and got told I would have to talk more. And I also tend, which Shannon and Sheridan might agree with this, I walk quickly, I move quickly, and I used to knock the feet on the hairdryer. They had legs out like these with wheels on them. And I'd walk past, I'd be told to go and get something from that room, and I'd kick the wheel and the lady under the dryer, oh, what's going on? So I got told to quieten down a little bit, walk a bit quieter and to talk more.
How did you play like a child?
Card games at home, but I mainly played with my doll because I was the youngest of 4 children and my 3 sisters, I only got sisters, they were all at school, so I had to play with my dog, and I had a cubby house and I would go out there and make cakes and things out of mud and put flowers on the top of them for decoration. And at school, once I went to school, we played hoppy, rope games with ropes. If there was one at each end and they'd do ropes and we'd have to jump over them.
Why do you play tennis, and was there any player that inspired you to play?
No, there wasn't any player inspired me because when I started playing, it wasn't until my youngest son was 2 and I got asked by a lady across the road if I would like to come up and just have a hit at tennis. I hadn't played before, never played at school and never played at all. And I didn't know any tennis players, only probably Margaret Court or someone like that you might not know about.
No, I've heard about that.
But then I just went up and had a hit, and I'd only been there about 3 months and they asked me to join a team. Don't know about that. Okay. But anyway, I'll try, and I've been playing for 50 odd years.
Wow, so you fell in love with it straight away?
I did. It was more for the exercise and then the companionship.
Okay.
Because when you're home with, my children, my youngest was with me at the time because he was only 2, so he came along with the playpen and was locked in the playpen while I went on the court, and then as soon as I came off the court, he was allowed out of the playpen. Sounds like a puppy, doesn't it? But he had lots of toys in the playpen and he had a treat. We go out for 3 sets, so we had treat number 1 while I went out for my first set, and then we'd come in and he could have a little play around. Then I'd put him back in there for the next set, he'd have treat number 2. I'd go out and play again, and he's probably asleep when I get back the 3rd time. but leave a treat in there. So if he wakes up, he can have his little treat. That's Sheridan's father I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he wasn't a dog, no way.
Thank you.
That was the reason, if he wasn't happy doing what I was doing, I wasn't going to play.
Okay.
He had to be comfortable doing that and knowing, because I couldn't have him running around. He could get out on the road, or he could fall down a creek or anything like that. So, and he did that for a couple of years till he went to kinder and school, and the rest's history.
Have you ever travelled and ever been on any holidays?
We used to go just down to Gippsland over the school holidays sometime. My husband is a fisherman, and that's probably why my 2 boys are fishermen still. But we didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't go anywhere very much. Until my husband retired from work, and then we bought a caravan. We've done a lot of travel in the caravan, only in Australia. I will say we've been right round Australia, but we've probably seen about 1/100th of Australia. You just don't realise how big it is till you get out the back there, and you can drive for hours and not see a car or a person. That's about all the travel I've probably done, and I wouldn't be here now only for the diesel shortage. And that's kept us from going up north. Now, for the first 5 years we travelled, and then after that we've just been going straight up to Townsville. We love Townsville and been staying there for 3 months and then coming back.
And so you mentioned you travelled a lot in the caravan around Australia. I'm just wondering, what was your favourite part visiting of Australia?
Darwin.
Okay, why Darwin?
Darwin is just a very lovely place. I wouldn't want to be there in the summer, it would be too hot.
Okay.
But there's a lot of interesting things to see around Darwin because of the war that was the bombing of the Japs up there, and there's a lot of memorabilia around. And there's one particular one you can go into, like a library, and they put you in this room about as big as a lift, and they take you through all of the noises that you hear in the war. And you're standing in this thing and you hear the bombs going off and all that sort of thing, and that's very, very interesting. And also it's very tropical, and we loved that. We only went there booked for 2 weeks and stayed for 8. So we had to shoot home. We wanted to do the West Coast and we couldn't do that year. We did that the following year.
Have you been to travel any countries before?
I haven't been out of Australia. I thought I was going when my husband was in the bank, and he rang me one day at work. We'd only been married 6 months, and he rang me and he said, "I've got to move in the bank." He had a shift. And I said, "Where to?" And he said, "It's to an island." And I thought, "Ooh, maybe Hawaii?" It was Tasmania. So that was still in Australia, so I haven't been to anywhere else. Only in Australia. I've been to an island, but Tasmania.
What was school like when you were up?
Well, I lived in the country, only 9 miles out of Geelong, but it was country. We had what you call a farmlet. It wasn't a farm, it was a farmlet, which is a small farm. We had 6 acres, and there was no children near me at all. They were all grown-ups. Next door, one of the men in there got married, but he moved into Geelong, so his children lived in Geelong. There was no little children near me. So I loved going to school because it gave me someone to talk to my same age instead of talking to my dog and my doll. I had humans to talk to, so I loved going to school. Had to ride my bike for 2K to get to school, with sometimes a dog chasing up behind me from one of the farms. I'd be sneaking past it on my bike, thinking, "Is she coming today?" Next minute he'd run out the gate to the wheels. He'd be going for the wheels, but I'd be pedalling as fast as I could to get past.
Biggest change you've seen in the world?
I think the biggest change is all the electronic things that are around these days. And I'm afraid they came when I was a bit old, and I haven't caught on to them. You ask Shannon. Every time she comes to see me, I'm asking her, "How do I do this, or what do I do that with my phone? Something's happened and I don't know how to fix it." She grabs it and away she goes. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, because I would rather, when we travel, I've got a map book and I use that. We don't use the screen at the front of the car, and I don't like it talking to me. I've got to concentrate where I'm driving. I don't like that thing talking to me. So I'd rather use, not when I'm driving I can't, because I can't look at a book, but when my husband's driving, when we're away, I use the book and I just go from page to page as we're going along the road. I'm going further on with my book. So I think electronic things are the biggest thing.
What's your first car?
It was an Austin A40, bottle green. It was an old car, but it got me back and forward to work. I actually bought didn't buy, I went into a hairdressing salon that was offered to me by my brother-in-law's auntie, because she was pregnant and having a baby and she didn't want to work, and she offered for me to take it over for 2 years. And because I lived in the country and I could get a bus into the city, but this place was out at West Geelong, and so I had to buy a car to get to work. That was the only reason I bought the car, to get to work and back.
Do you have favourite Disney movies?
I didn't see very many movies when I was little because we were out of town, so I didn't go to the pictures at all when I was little. But probably now, with my children watching them and probably my grandchildren watching them, I think probably Winnie the Pooh.
Do you have a football team?
I do have a football team.
Yes.
I have followed Geelong since I was probably in high school until I got married.
Yep.
And my husband's a Carlton supporter.
Yes.
So I say I haven't changed my colours.
Okay.
I'm still navy and white. I've just got rid of my stripes.
Yep.
And I've got the emblem on the front of the jumper.
Ooh.
It's still navy and white.
What is something that always makes you smile?
Probably the sight of my grandchildren make me smile.
What is something about your childhood that young people might find surprising?
Something that I remember most is saving the knuckles out of the, I don't know whether it was a beef or lamb now. No, it would be lamb, it wouldn't be beef. And making jacks. Have you ever played jacks? They're little things. They're usually made out of plastic these days, but we used to have them out of bone. And you have about 5 or 6 of them in your hand, and you throw them up and catch them on the back of your hand, or you put your hand down on the ground and you put them inside there, and you've got to try and lift the whole lot up and catch them throw them in the air and catch them in your hand. That was what we used to play with. We saved them out of, I'm sure it was a lamb, and then we would paint them to make them pretty, whereas you now just go into the shop and you buy them.
If you could invite anyone to dinner, who would it be and why?
Well, it would probably be my family, if they could all come at the one time, but that's very difficult. But we try to get them all there, because I like to see them all together. Some of them, because they don't live that far away, but they don't see each other, so I like to perhaps gather them together so they can all see each other.
Who is your favourite grandchild?
I don't have a real big favourite one. I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. Secretly I might have one, but I don't publicise it.
So what's a thing from the past you wish was here in the present?
Probably something that I wish was still around, and there is a couple, but they're few and far between, it's just the little lolly shops. We used to be able to go in with a penny and come out with a bag full of lollies, if you know what a penny is.
I was watching this interview and it brought back a childhood memory of mine of my grandma having a lolly jar, which she actually bought out because she just turned 80. And I wanted to know from you, did you have any things that you did with your grandkids to give them like a little surprise, like lollies, anything like that?
Yes, so I have a lolly basket.
Oh, really?
Up in the kitchen cupboard.
Nice.
That I kept stocked with the bits and pieces, just for when they came, if they were good. Nobody could raid it because they couldn't get to it.
Hey.
It was up in the cupboard above the oven, and I have to reach right up, even now, on my tippy toes to get it down.
What's been the biggest major event that's had the biggest impact on you?
I would have to say that's had an impact on me. Probably a major event is probably shortage of things, like the war that's on at the moment, so the fuel shortage. I have never been anywhere where anything major has happened, like over in America, where the Twin Towers went or something like that. I've never been anywhere like that. So I would say shortage of things.
Are you afraid of anything still now?
Probably heights. I couldn't go up in a hot air balloon or anything like that. And I thought I couldn't go up in a small plane, but I did. I think it was for it would be my 60th birthday. When we were in Townsville, the man across the road wanted to go in the Red Baron. Have you heard of the Red Baron?
I haven't, no.
It's just a little single, there's only room for 3 people in it, or maybe 4 it is. And it's one that's got the double wings out the side. And I think there's a story to that Red Baron. I wish I'd looked at it because I've got a brochure about it at home. I wish I'd looked before I came. But he wanted to go up in it. And so I said, all right, I will go with you. I wasn't happy, but I'll go with you. So we took off from the airstrip at Townsville, and we were okay for a while because he was just going, he said, I'll take you around Townsville and show you how big Townsville is. So we did that, and then this friend said to him, can we do a few tricks? So next minute, I'm standing on my head. He was doing a few somersaults, and my stomach didn't like that very much. And after, when I got out of the plane, I thought, wasn't that fantastic? Yeah. But while I was there, I thought, oh no, I don't think I like this, because he just did about 3 loops.
In your 80 years, you've experienced a lot. Where do you think life would be in the next 80 years?
I hope things don't change too much, because I don't like the way things are going, technology-wise, too. With those that are just think they're too smart and can do things with the technology that we don't like. I just wish things would just settle down a little bit. It's moving too fast. For me, maybe not for you.
What's your proudest moment?
My proudest moment I have probably had 3 of them, and that was when my children were born. I think that's my proudest moment, and to see them grow up.
We thank you so much for your time today. I think it's fair to say that the guys at Hellow Media have loved getting to know you.